Hello students. Students, today we are starting 6th chapter, the 100 races part 2. Students, the part 1 of this chapter was ended at the point when the students gather in room number 13, where the drawing sheets of different designs made by Wanda Petrosky are kept. And when they look at the drawing sheets, they start praising the sheets, the dresses, the designs of the dresses, and they applause. And even Peggy and Maddie also start praising the dresses, the designs of the dresses made by Wanda Petrosky. Even Wanda Petrosky was absent on that day. And what happens after that, we will read in this chapter in today's class. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Now, the class was circled in the room, and the monitor of the class brought a note from principal's office, and this note was for Miss Mason, the teacher of Wanda Petrosky. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands. After she got the note, she started reading it. She read it for many times. She read it several times. And after reading this note, she thought, and then she started clapping her hands. Attention class. Everyone back to their seat. When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Mason said, "I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you." Then the teacher, Miss Mason, said that this was a letter from Wanda's father and she wanted to read it out to all the students. So she told them to take the seats. Miss Mason stood there a moment, and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. Now Miss Mason stood there for a moment. She kept silence. That's why all the students were also tense. They were expectant, as they were feeling that something has happened. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Her manner indicated that what was coming, this letter from Wanda's father, was a matter of great importance. Now the teacher didn't speak at the same moment. She stopped for a moment. Then she adjusted her glasses. Then very slowly she was doing something. She was adjusting her glasses, and her manners were showing that there is something important. Everybody listened closely as Miss Mason read the brief note. Then Miss Mason started reading the note. "Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also. Now we move away to big city. No more Holler Polak. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jan Petrosky." Now, Wanda's father started the letter by saluting the teacher. He said, "Dear teacher." Also, he wrote in his note that now his daughter Wanda and his son Jake will not come to school because now they are moving to another city, to the big city, and where no one would make fun of their names. Even in the big cities, there are plenty of funny names of the people. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Mason took off her glasses, blew on them, and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. After reading this note, she also thought for a moment. Miss Mason thought for a moment. Then she started speaking, but when she spoke, her voice was very low. "I'm sure that none of the boys and girls in room 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because his or her name happened to be a long, unfamiliar one." Now, teacher started speaking, and first of all, she said that she was very much sure that none of the boys and girls in room number 13 had purposely or deliberately hurt anyone's feelings. Anyone means here Wanda's feelings. She was very much sure that none of them had hurt Wanda's feelings, as her name was a very long and it was unfamiliar. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness. Also, she said, if anybody has said to her anything that I think that it was said thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel the way I do. That this is a very unfortunate thing to have happened, unfortunate and sad, both. And I want you all to think about it. Even she told all the students that it is a very unfortunate thing that has happened in the school. It is really unfortunate and very sad. And also, then she told the students to introspect about it, to think upon it. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. Now, their first period was a study period, but Maddie could not concentrate, she could not do her work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. Even she feels that she had never made fun of Wanda, but when Peggy had made fun of Wanda and she had asked about how many dresses she had in her closet, then she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. But even she had stood there silently, it was as bad as Peggy had done. Means it was similarly bad as Peggy had made fun of Wanda Pentrosky, even though she had stood there by silently, but it was also very much bad. Worse, even it was worse. She was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but she. Maddie had thought they were doing wrong. She could put herself in Wanda's shoes. Now, she was feeling to herself that she was a coward. She would have uh, said Peggy not to do this, not to make fun of Wanda Pentrosky, but she had not. Now she feels that she had done something wrong, and also she was keeping herself in place of Wanda, and then she was imagining all this. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? If only she could tell Wanda she had not meant to hurt her feelings. Now she feels that if she would have told Wanda everything, then she would not have meant that she had never meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up. Now she looked at Peggy, but Peggy was not looking at her. She seemed to be studying hard. As she was busy in her schoolwork, she was studying. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, Maddie, had to do something. Now she feels that she wanted to do something for Wanda, although Peggy was not, she didn't know whether Peggy was feeling bad or not. She had to find Wanda Pentrosky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her and they would tell Wanda she had won the contest, that they thought she was smart and 100 dresses were beautiful. Now she thought that she would do something for Wanda Pentrosky, and also she feels that maybe Peggy would also climb with her to the heights, the Boggins height where Wanda lived, and they would go to Wanda and tell her that she had won the contest. And also they would tell her that she was very much smart and all the 100 dresses that were designed by her were very much beautiful. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said, with pretended casualness, hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not. Now, after the school was dismissed, after the school was closed, even Peggy also said that she wanted to pretend to show herself that she had not done something, and also she said that they would go to Wanda and see if she had left the town or not. So Peggy had had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really all right. Now, she also had the same idea as Maddie had thought. The two girls hurried out of the building, up the street toward Boggins Heights, the part of town that wore such a forbidding air. Forbidding air means that is actually threatening, that is harmful to the nature. Such a forbidding air on this kind of a November afternoon, drizzly, damp and dismal. Damp and dismal means wet and sad. Now, they hurried, they ran towards to the building, ran out of the building and they went up the street towards Boggins Heights. The environment of Boggins Heights was not good, even it was November afternoon and it was the slow rain was falling, it was wet and sadness. Well, at least, said Peggy gruffly. I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb and gay. Look how she can draw. Now, at last, Peggy said that she had never called her a foreigner and even she had not made fun of her name. And also, she had never thought that she had sense, as she had thought that she was very much dumb. As she was just like a dumb cow, she would not say anything. So that's why she had made fun of her dresses. But now she says that I want to tell her that she can draw very well. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her and how wonderful the whole school thought she was. Picked on her means made fun of her. Now, did not say anything, but she wanted to find Wanda and tell her that they had always made fun of her, but now they were sorry. And also she said that she would tell that how the whole school was thinking very good for her, and please not to move away, and everybody would be nice. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. And also she thought that she would tell her that everybody in the school would be very nice to him, and also they would tell her not to move away, not to leave the town. And also she thought that she would tell her if anybody would not be nice to them, then she, Maddie and Peggy both would fight with the person. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. Now they ran towards Boggins Heights, and they were hoping that they were expecting they would reach there before dark. I think that's where the Petronskis live, said Maddie, pointing to a little white house. At last they saw a little white house, and Maddie pointed that she was very much sure that was the house of Petronskis. Wisps of the old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway like thin kittens. Wisp means thin branches of the grass. The thin branches of the grass grew along the path, and they were looking just like the kittens. The house and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. And the house and the scattered little yard was also looking very much shabby, but it was clean. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. Then Maddie reminded of Wanda's one dress that was of blue color, faded blue cotton dress. It was shabby but it was clean. Now she compared to the cleanliness of the house to the dress of the Wanda Petrovsky. There was not a sign of life about the house. Even there was no one. There was no one around the house. They could not see anyone. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. Then Peggy knocked at the door, but they didn't get any answer from inside the house. She and Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. And then they went towards the backyard. Even they also knocked there. Still there was no answer. Even they didn't get any answer from the backyard also. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? Now, there is no doubt. Now they had left the town. The Petronskis had gone, and now they were not able to amend not able to amend. Even they were not able to say sorry to Wanda Petrosky. They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Now they came back. They both, Maddie and Peggy, came back. They made their way back down the hill. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she has gone now. So what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. Now Peggy said, now they could do nothing because she had gone, she had left the town. And also she said that she had got inspiration only after she had started her dresses game. After she had started making fun of her dresses, only then she had got the idea. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. Otherwise, she would never have won the contest if she had not given the ideas. So now, while coming back down the hill, Peggy said that it was only her ideas, only she had given the inspiration to Wanda Petrosky. When she had made fun of her dresses, then she had got the idea and started making the drawings. Only it was her inspiration, the inspiration given by her, that she had won the contest. Otherwise, she would not have got the idea and she would never have won the contest. So students, this is enough for the day. The remaining part of the chapter we will do in the next class. Till then, goodbye and have a nice day.